So, I read this. I have my handy dandy notes here with me as well, in addition to this book. It's Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And the back of the book says, John Gray's Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus has helped many millions of couples transform their relationship. Now viewed as a modern classic, this phenomenal book has helped men and women realize how different they really are and how to communicate their needs in such a way that conflict doesn't arise and intimacy is given every chance to grow. Sounds good, right? No! It starts right from this glorious title page, starting with the color. Now, I don't know if you've seen a lot of other non-fiction books talking about like psychology and the human brain, human history, gender dynamics, but they don't look like this. This color reminds me very strongly of a certain emoji that pretty much encapsulates how I feel about the book. So that worked out. Font. Looking at the cover reminds me of a teen romance that was written in 2007 or something. Illustrations on the title of the book. You have a man who looks pretty normal. He's holding a copy of this very book. And you have a woman who's posing. The title itself, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. It depicts men and women as being so completely different that we are species that come from different planets. We are literally worlds apart, and it is just not possible for us to have similar interests or similar characteristic traits because we are not humans. No. We are two very, very different species. It, needless to say, triggered me on multiple occasions. So, in order to cope, I went and got myself an equally scientific book that balances out this equation a little bit, and it's called Jokes to Offend Men. Whenever I'm a little bit triggered by the generalizations or absolute nonsense in this book, we will cut to a joke, and I think we should do one right now. When something is bothering a man, he prefers to silently think about it and retreat, whereas women will feel the instinctive need to talk about what's bothering them immediately. Men in a relationship find the need to every now and then pull away to feel healthy and feel secure. Women enjoy clinging to their partner at every given moment of the day because that is how they feel secure in a relationship. Men fantasize about powerful cars. Women fantasize about romance. Men are largely goal-oriented. Women are more concerned, and I quote, with expressing their goodness, love, and caring, and are more involved in personal growth, spirituality, and everything that can nurture life, healing, and growth. I'm triggered. Number one, men silently thinking about what's bothering them. I, for a fact, know men who will exclusively want to talk about what's bothering them and confront it immediately, spending zero time in silent contemplation. Meanwhile, I feel the need to pull away when I'm having strong emotions because I don't think this is a positive, but I really struggle with articulating emotions. So if I'm forced to talk about them as I am feeling them, I start crying because my body just cannot take the stress of having an emotional conversation. No, that's something only men are going to do because women feel the need to be super chatty all the time. So I don't know what to tell you. Point number two, men in a relationship feel the need to pull away while women feel happy being as clingy as possible. Once again, I can tell you that I know several women who have had issues with men that they were dating because the men were just that clingy and would not leave them alone, constantly messaging them, constantly needing validation of their feelings and love, etc., etc. And I know women who are nervous about being so attached to another human being romantically or platonically. I do feel the most secure in a relationship where I have my space and I can take some time and pull away and just be by myself, feel secure by myself, and know that I have my husband in this case who is with me If I ever need emotional support and we enjoy our time together, we enjoy our time alone. But no, according to this book, we are freaks of nature because that is just not how women are. I'm supposed to be clingy and I'm supposed to be attached at the hip to my partner 24/7 because that is what makes me happy. Men fantasize about powerful cars because they're too stupid to think about things that actually have substance. Women fantasize about romance because that is all we care about in life. I think it's disrespectful on both accounts. One, that men fantasize about powerful cars and building things. Sure, some men do. There's no problem with that. But again, he's reducing men to such unidimensional beings, and it's so stereotypical that it's almost funny. And as for the romance bit, I despise it with every fiber of my being, so much so that I actually made an entire video about it. I do know personally not one, but several men who have written love poems to their significant others while dating them. And I don't know what this author would say about that. Either these men are not manly, or I don't know. It's just nothing is making sense. You're making all of these like generalizations, and every single one, I can personally name people who don't fit into that. And it's not like everybody in my social group is an anomaly. Men are goal-oriented, all right, fine. And women, I don't know what he thinks women are. We are more concerned with expressing goodness, love, and caring. And might I add, having, giving, sharing, and receiving. But according to the author, I should not be thinking about my career. I should not be busting my ass working on a YouTube channel and a website and working as hard as I do, because it's not womanly. And it's not in my nature, and it's not what will bring me happiness. Instead, I should obsess about romance, cling to my husband, and think about expressing goodness, love, and caring. It's time for a joke. Let's go. How women react when men supposedly retreat instead of talking about their problems. And he writes, women generally do not understand how men cope with stress. They expect men to open up and talk about the problems the way they do. To expect a man who is in his cave, retreating, instantly to become open, responsive, and loving is as unrealistic as expecting a woman who is upset immediately to calm down and make complete sense. Because women are idiots. We are not capable of talking in a logical and rational way when we are emotional, because that's just how women are. And it's an irrefutable fact. He also essentially says that women do not feel worthy to ask for things or ask for what they want. I just may be an idiot woman who's incapable of rational thought and obsesses about romance 24/7, but it seems to me that he is confusing innate with acquired traits. If you consider two babies who just about learned how to speak, a male and a female, and they have to ask a parent for an extra candy, never in my experience have I seen a baby girl hesitate to ask for things because she is female, which tells me that this supposed innate trait that the author is talking about is acquired, meaning that we are taught to feel like this. And not every woman is taught to feel like this, but it is a pattern where women do not assert themselves, women do not ask for things, they feel unworthy, according to this man, about asking for things, but that is something that society teaches them to do. It is not something that they're born with as part of having two X chromosomes instead of an XY chromosome. But what do I know? He says men are very naturally competitive, while women are not naturally competitive. And he gives us a very clear example to illustrate how men are competitive. He says, in most sports today, we can see an extension of the male competitive code. For example, in tennis, I not only want to win, but also try to make my friend lose by making it difficult for him to return my shots. I enjoy winning as a man, even though my friend loses. The author chooses to explain the natural male competitive spirit by using a competitive sport as an example. Isn't that a little bit redundant? Or am I missing something? All the women who play competitive sports, are they freaks? Or are they secretly dudes? Because according to this book, when I enter a tennis match and I'm playing against somebody who's my friend, I should immediately stop caring about the match and just sit there and talk about my feelings. Imagine you are married. You are driving in a car with your husband. Your husband is lost. He does not want to ask for directions. This is a world before GPS, by the way. He doesn't want to ask for directions, doesn't want to look at a map, and doesn't want your help. You offer to help him, and he gets upset. Rightly so, because men need to feel self-sufficient. So instead of correcting him and being critical or trying to help him and indicate that he's not good enough by doing so, your job as a woman is to sit there and support him. You will be 20 minutes late. You have an idiot for a husband who doesn't know how to ask for help or is too proud to ask for directions, and you will just be late, and you will just support him and show him by doing so that even though his incompetence made you 20 minutes late, that you love him and you trust him because he's self-sufficient and he got there in the end. I learned about, some of the things that I already use, which is writing when it comes to communicating your feelings as opposed to talking about it, because sometimes it's harder to speak and it's a lot easier to articulate when writing. I know this to be true for myself. So a lot of times when I'm struggling to communicate my emotions, I will wait, process them, write them down, and then share that, because that communicates it as clearly as possible with no unnecessary distress or emotion. But again, things like this that worked for me are things that work across the board for both men and women. Basic things about understanding each other, giving each other space when they need it, giving each other support when they need it, communicating clearly. I don't think this is a men and women thing. Oh, it's sweaty. 101 ways to be exact to score with a woman. Give her 4 hugs a day. You come at me with 4 hugs a day, you will never hug me again. I think that's about 3 hugs too many for me, if I'm being honest. Tell her I love you at least a couple of times every day. Like, emotional intelligence is 0. We're like children who need to be validated constantly. You have to tell me you love me 4 times a day, because otherwise I'm not going to feel loved and I'm going to be sad, and then I'm going to talk about how sad I am until you are romantic and clingy and cuddly like I want you to be. I love my family very, very much. I love my friends very, very much. You don't see me telling them, even though they're female, I love them 4 times a day. I show them that I love them by being there for them when they need me. Offer to give her a back or neck or foot massage, or all 3. Yes, I approve. I love me some good massages, so yes, give me all the massages. Display affection in public. I hate it. I hate it. Learn her favorite drinks so you can offer her a choice of the ones that you know she already likes. Alright, seems like basic consideration to me. I don't know why it's a woman thing, but sure, works for me. Take pictures of her on special occasions, yes, but take good pictures. If you can't take good pictures, I'd rather you don't take pictures. Let her see that you carry a picture of her in your wallet and update it from time to time. Bloody garbage. Surprise her with a love note or poem. I will hit you. Okay, so I'm having some massive technical issues with my camera, but I didn't want to give up and I want to finish this video. Basically, this book I have a massive problem with because it oversimplifies humans, it generalizes us, it puts us in these boxes that nobody fits into, and you're setting yourself up for disappointment and conflict and confusion, quite frankly. It completely ignores cultural context. I would never trust a book that claims, especially when it comes to things like genders and identities and people to categorize things so clearly, it's never going to be a reliable read. On that note, if you're looking for something that is a more substantial read and a better use of your time, might I recommend my websites where you can go and check out interesting and quick articles to read every week. Make sure you subscribe, leave me a like and a comment. If you want to join my Instagram community, I'll link that as well. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.